Okay, I'll make another attempt. I'm back.
Darn it.
That's okay. You might get another chance. Thank you, and I'm again apologize. The next item on the agenda is 564 First Avenue. It's a request for a use permit to allow the construction of an addition that would increase.
Excuse me, wrong one.
Am I on the wrong one?
Here we are. 2380 Valleywood, number 6.
Oh,
Letter C.
gosh, you're right. So we just did that one. Thank you. 2380 Valleywood Drive. It's a request for a use permit to allow the construction of an addition that would result in a floor area above the .55 guidelines, which is actually .60, and result in a front deck that is not set back at least 18 inches from the face of the first floor of the house and does not provide a solid vertical surface around the bottom 18 inches of the deck. Per section 12.200.030, B.2 and 12.200.040.B3C of the San Bruno Municipal Code. Staff report, please.
Good evening, Planning Commissioners. As stated, the applicant has applied for a use permit to expand the existing single-family dwelling. The use permit is required because the addition is exceeding the FAR guidelines, and the second story front deck is not set back at least 18 inches from the first floor below and does not provide a solid vertical surface around the bottom 18 inches of the deck. The site is located on Valleywood Drive and is currently developed with a 2-story split-level home. The addition is proposed to the rear of the existing home. The first floor addition will expand the existing will create a new living room and half bathroom, and the second floor expansion will expand the existing master bedroom located on that second floor. The applicant is also proposing new landscaping throughout the front yard and rear yard. Exterior changes to the facade are also proposed. New bay windows are proposed throughout the entire site, as well as a brick veneer base and fiber cement siding. The Architectural Review Committee reviewed this project at the May 14th meeting, and at that meeting, the property owner proposed to continue the brick veneer base and the fiber cement siding along the left side elevation, which the Architectural Review Committee supported. The Architectural Review Committee also requested a color rendering of the front elevation and a color and material sample board. Overall, staff is supportive of the colors. However, we do have one recommendation which has been included as a condition of approval. That is specifically regarding the color of the columns and the gutters. Right now it's proposed to be white. However, staff has added a condition of approval requiring the columns and gutters to be painted the same trim color that is utilized throughout the property. Additionally, since the Architectural Review Committee, the applicant has continued the brick veneer base throughout all elevations and the fiber cement siding throughout all elevations, which staff does support. Although the project does exceed the FAR guidelines, staff finds that the addition complements the existing home and the neighborhood as a whole. Staff finds that the second story deck proposed with supporting columns does place a greater emphasis on the front porch, which is a good thing in this situation, given the current state of the front porch. Staff did send a courtesy notice and the required 300-foot notification to property owners and received one comment from a concerned neighbor. That email is included as an exhibit within the staff report. Their primary concern was according to them, the unattractive nature of the existing home, and they didn't understand why staff was recommending approval to increase the unattractive nature. In their mind, this would be increasing the unattractive nature. However, staff firmly disagrees with that statement and finds that as a result of this project, the appearance of the home will greatly be improved with the new fiber cement siding, brick veneer base, and bay windows, and the existing landscaping will be removed and replaced with brand new landscaping in the front and rear yard. With that, staff does recommend approval and supports the project and recommends that the Planning Commission approve use permit 09-004 based on findings of fact 1 through 6 and conditions of approval 1 through 25. I'm available for any questions that you may have.
Are there any questions?
Through the chair.
Staff? Commissioner Marshall?
The one variance, I think is the first time it's come up since I've been up here, about the front railing has to be 18 inches.
Correct.
Can you explain that and what's the rationale behind that?
I believe the rationale is if people are leaving any kind of thing, like if anything's placed for storage purposes, that we wouldn't want that visible from the public right away. In this case, I don't think it will be used for storage, given that it's only 5 feet in depth. So I don't think there will be a lot of storage taking place out on the front deck.
And should we put a condition that there would be no storage?
Yeah, we could definitely add that condition.
Okay.
Through the chair.
Commissioner Peterson.
It looks like the deck goes all the way over to the far edge of the property on the right. You can see it on page A2, sheet A2. Do I understand that correctly?
Are we the front deck or the rear deck?
Well, it's toward the rear of the house. It'd be on the right-hand side if you're looking at it from the street. You're looking at sheet A2?
Yeah.
I guess I asked the wrong question.
I believe on sheet A.1, it references the existing concrete pad goes all the way to the property line, as you're indicating, and not a raised deck. You're stepping down to that spot in A-3, which is the proposed.
Okay, I see that. So it is a deck, but it's concrete, so it's essentially same as ground. It's like concrete flat work then.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Through the chair.
Commissioner Chase.
Yeah, Matt, in regards to the letter from the neighbor and their concerns, and I'm just going to read a little bit of this if I could. It starts with, I still see so many flaws in this addition. They are in so many violations that San Bruno seems to want to wash under the rug. As it goes on, it says, I am very opposed to any additional permits being granted. The address is already an eyesore. Why make it even more? The plans violate so many codes as it is, and your committee is willing to add to that? Does the noise level, extra traffic, et cetera, mean anything to the city? When this letter was received, and since then, has this particular neighbor, has he been contacted in regards to, his concerns about this particular project? And if he was, just exactly what codes are being violated in the plans that we're apparently willing to wash under the rug? I'm not too clear on that. I'm wondering if that was made clear to staff, and then in turn if staff made clear to the concerned resident his concerns.
Yes, staff did contact the concerned neighbor, and I believe the codes that they are referencing that are being violated are the entitlements, essentially the use permit for exceeding the FAR requirement, as well as the front deck not set back 18 inches, and then the 18 inches for the vertical surface as a deck as well. Okay. I believe those are the codes that that the concerned neighbor is referring to that has been violated.
Although in reality they haven't been violated because...
Exactly.
Okay.
In relation to, they were concerned with traffic and they were concerned with noise. I pointed out to the concerned neighbor that we do have conditions of approval, which display the noise ordinance within the conditions. So they have to abide by those noise regulations found in that condition.
Okay. That's good, because I'm just kind of a little taken back when I was reading it about, the traffic, the additional traffic and everything, and I just want to hopefully make clear that the neighbor understood there's not going to be that much more traffic during construction. I mean, and we all obviously do have, conditions of, approval for that, so. Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions? Thank you, Matt. We'll now open the public hearing, and if the applicant can please step forward and state your name and provide any additional information you would like us to be aware of.
Good evening. My name is Dan Dominski, and this is my wife, Anna Nelson.
Excuse me for a moment. If you can just tip that microphone towards you so we can hear you a little better.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
are the owners of 2380 Valleywood Drive, and we would like to change the appearance of the house outside and inside, and our proposal and the drawings we designed complies with all our willing to live in a good house with a nice exterior and interior and a landscape.
As an owner and a mother of 2 children, it's kind of important for me that my house not going to be only looking presentable, but also useful for me and my children. And the deck on the back is going to be a great opportunity for me to see my children play while I'm going to be cooking in the kitchen, which I'm going to transfer to the back of the house. That's the reason why I wanted to make it the way I did.
Okay. Can you please also state your name for the record?
I'm sorry. My name is Anna Nagelson.
Thank you. Do the commissioners have any questions for the applicant? No, I do have a couple. I had the opportunity of visiting your property today, and I'd like to, just based upon my observation, I saw several things that were taking place, and it looks like some of these things will be addressed during the construction. I saw some things that would appear to me very unsafe. And looking at some of the laundry area, even I can reach some of those pipe areas, and there are some conditions inside with, you apparently, in speaking to Mrs. Mendelson, that there was a leak apparently. You opened up the inside of where the ceiling area was, and you saw some cantilevers going in opposite directions, and you couldn't figure out how that came about. Can you just please describe some of the things that I observed today? And I don't know if Mrs. Nadelson had explained to you or gave you information about my tour.
Yes, the laundry room that you saw today is exactly the way we purchased the house, and that's exactly the same laundry room that we had it, and all those pipes sticking out. And in the winter time, we have a rain, the water coming down the garage area, and we have some leaks in the living room, over the windows, and at different places. There are so many code violations were constructed by previous owners, and we have a pipe sticking out from exterior of the wall, hot water and the cold water, and they get into the house from outside of the wall. So the decks are rotten, and that's what we'd like to proceed with improvement and fix all the problems that have been done by previous owners. So it satisfies the safety and just aesthetical and just the pleasure of a living space that we are looking forward to build.
Okay. And my understanding is that you've been there for 5 years and that you've made some changes.
Well, we've been in 5 years, but we start fixing, then we moved out, and we're just right now moving out, just getting ready to move our stuff away as soon as the construction will start. So we are the owners, but the condition we lived was not acceptable. There's a light fixtures. There's a we were fixing the air conditioning. The heating system. There's lots of different stuff that we got involved in, and so we moved there temporarily, and we're moving out to another location until we get the house fixed. So it was not a permanent place of living. It just was temporarily place for us right now. But we are on the way to proceed with the construction and finish the project as soon as possible, move it back.
Thank you for that description. And so what I saw today appeared to me to be unsafe conditions. And so you have done some construction internally, and I know in speaking to Mrs. Nettleson, she indicated that the front door, well, I saw that the front door had been moved and was,
yeah, yes, I pulled the permit for replacing the door, but as soon as I started working on it, there's so much dry rot was inherited, and there's other stuff. So I just relocated the door to other place and started working with a drawing. And when I started to prepare the drawings, I couldn't handle it, and so I hired a licensed architect who will help me with proceeding with the drawings. It's just a matter of time before we just find the resources and right people to proceed with the right way of building the stuff.
I understand that architect took a year to create those plans, and
yeah,
there were some challenges in that area.
Correct. Yeah.
I guess my point of bringing that up is that I wanted to hear from your point of view just the progression of this project, because there appears to be some long-term issues here, and with the neighbors' input, what is your expectation of completion of this project?
You mean time completion?
Yes. What do you see that the beginning and the ending? Because basically, tonight, whether it
with all the positive conditions, I would say see it as like a 6 months project from start to finish, including the we have another. I've talked to our neighbor on the west side, and he has a problem with a drainage system, the water coming to his house as well. So we just talked about putting a drainage system right next to the fence to pump the water out of the backyard so it doesn't get into our houses, because the water coming from up the hill, down the hill, and it collects on the lower side of the backyard that we have, both him and us. And so with our neighbor on the corner side, we in cooperation to build the fence and drainage system, splitting the cost 50-50. And with our neighbor on the other side, on the east side, we didn't have any issues, no complaints. It's a nice neighbor. The other neighbor who was complaining, we are not aware who this person is, and we never talked to the person. But that's so our idea is if we have a planning department approving the drawings and building department approving the drawings, we're probably going to start the project within a month, preparing all the ordering of the materials and all the stuff just to get ready. And our first priority would be constructing the new roof that we have. We have existing shingle roofing on the house, covered with like cedar shingle covered with regular shingles, and it has to be teared off. The roofing has to be redone. There's lots of places that what we have has to be just fixed immediately before the rain starts, and the gutter system to be taken care as well, because the old gutters are vinyl and they're all falling apart. They're not fixable. They just have to be replaced, put a new fascia, soffits, and just proper waterproofing of the top of the house ASAP.
Okay. And then the internal part where on the staircases there are a lot of things there aren't any rails, and there's construction. There's some very awkward ways of the way the walls have been taken apart. And can you just address what your thinking was on that, process?
The existing steps that we had before, the rise was about 9 inches, and the tread was about 8 inches, and there was a clearance about, when you step on the step, you were hitting the header right above it. It was just a poorly constructed stairway, which didn't have an egress clearance to bring anything in and out on the stairs. So just fixing the stair, it just was like a can of worms. You open up, you start working on one thing, another thing gets onto the way, and the way you see it, you just figure out it's the way, just everything tear apart and rebuild it right from the beginning instead of fixing. So the stair that I fixed, it was just to meet this overhead clearance we didn't have. It was like 72. So whenever I step on the step, I was touching the header right above the stair.
How long ago did you actually create that new way of removing that header, and how long ago was that?
Maybe a year or so. So just after the work, you just come and just put a belt, just try to fix the stuff and make sure something doesn't fall here or there.
Well, my concern, in fact, you're indicating a year. My concern of this project is basically that, it's been a year and it's extremely unsafe at this point, from my observation. And so, if it's been a year already, it's just how long will this project actually take and put it back into?
We just moved there, like how maybe.
It's about 5 years.
No, how long we
Oh,
were in
we
San
didn't
Francisco.
live there.
Yeah.
Exactly. We were like moving on and off because we store our property values and everything in different
I'm sorry, if
places.
you can speak into
Just
the microphone.
Just the furniture has been there for like years right now since we moved on 5 years ago, but we don't live there like physically all the time. Like I said, we were living in San Francisco because of the schools for my children, and now we're moving back to San Francisco. So we don't really live there, but the furniture stores, I mean, we have to have it somewhere.
Okay, so what I saw today, you're not living there?
It's like a second residence home, pretty much,
Okay.
if you
Okay,
call it
well,
residence.
It didn't appear that way.
No,
It
it
felt
is.
like it was a full living conditions, but I just
Mm.
really wanted to state the information and present, my observation. And are there any additional questions for the applicants?
I'd just like to note, once we do have a construction time limit ordinance, so once they do pull the permit, they'll be under the gun to finish this quickly, so it can't go on for years and years.
That's true. Thank you. for
Through the
reminding.
chair.
Commissioner Peterson?
What is that limit, Director?
Depends on the valuation of their project, but it's between 12 and 20, so between 1 and 2 years to finish the project.
Thank you. Through the chair.
Commissioner Peterson?
On the permit, on the staff report, there are 25 conditions. Did you have a chance to look at them, and are those okay with you?
Yes, we looked over it, and the only one condition we were talking to the planning commission is about the color of the column and the gutters, but it's all solvable.
So it's okay?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from the audience, excuse me, that wishes to speak on this project? Okay, we'll now close the public hearing and bring it back to Planning Commission discussion.
Through the chair.
Commissioner Chase?
If there's no questions or anything else from any other commissioners, I'll make a motion that we approve use permit 09-004 based on findings of fact 1 through 26 and conditions of approval findings of fact 1 through 6 and conditions of approval 1 through 26.
Second.
Question?
Commissioner
Can we
Marshall?
add the extra condition about the storage on the deck? If the city has a reason for 18 inches on the front deck, I think we should back it up that there is no storage within the first 18 inches or however.
I would also like to at least ask the question of our director, is there any opportunity to go in and view it right currently at the stage where it is, document some of the information, possibly take some photographs if that's permissible to do, just so we have some, some documentation of the process. Really what I saw just didn't feel, I'm concerned about the project, and so I just feel strongly that if there's some visual from our staff to go in and take a look at it.
Yeah, we could have one of the building inspectors with their agreement come down and take a look at things and see if there's any real life safety conditions right now that should be fixed quicker than this building permit process.
And is it appropriate to take photographs of that? Is that a practice that
Sure.
could be done through?
Yeah, as long as you have a homeowner's consent, you're allowed to do that.
Okay, thank you. All right, there's
I'm
a
sorry.
motion?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Through the chair, was Commissioner Marshall, was your question answered?
Well, you have to add it to your motion if you.
Well, I'll add that to my motion. So actually, it's condition of approval 1 through 27.
There's actually 25 conditions now, so that one would be the 26th. The no
I thought
storage.
26 was the column color.
Oh, that was already
The
already included as a condition.
Okie dokie, excuse me.
And the storage on the deck was?
26.
Number 26.
26, and then?
And I accept that as a second.
Okay. So it's been moved and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. There is a 10-day appeal process before any action can take place. Thank you.